Now I'm going to discuss about a little bit of observability. Okay, and this is a very important concept because nowadays all the tools which you are learning right now, today you are
Mhm.
learning Dynatrace, maybe Datadog, Neural Lake, App Dynamics, or any other tools also. So we
Mhm.
need to understand this concept. So
Mhm.
earlier we were doing monitoring, right? We were doing the
Yep.
monitoring, and we used to do the monitoring, using various tools and technology. So we'll do the product development, capacity planning, testing, post-mortem, incident response, and monitoring. But
Mhm.
nowadays monitoring is dead. We are not doing monitoring anymore. So what we are doing basically? So we are doing observability. Yes. So now the question is, what is the difference between monitoring and observability? That's the thing. So here, monitoring tells you whether the system is working or not, whereas observability let you ask why it isn't working. Okay, very little difference, but lots of greater context. Observability means assembling all fragments from logs, monitoring tools, and organize them in a such a way which gives you actionable knowledge of the whole environment, thus creating an insight. Once upon a time, there was a monitoring, but now observability. Observability is a superset of monitoring. It provides not only high level overviews of the system health, but also highly granular insight into the implicit failure modes. That means it's not like it will tell you, okay, your system is not working or working, but it will tell you why it's not working, what are the cause for it, and where you can look for it, the issues you can look for it, and stuff like that. So, in addition, now an observable system furnishes ample context, but about its inner working, unlocking the ability to uncover deeper systematic issues. Monitoring, on the other hand, is the best suited for to report the overall health of the system and to retrieve alerts. So if you look at this pyramid here, you have alerting overview, which is called monitoring now, debugging, profiling, dependency analysis, and anticipating a future is called observability. So if you want to set up observability, you have to not only set up the monitoring, but also all the testing best practices which you follow to check, verify the software correctness, and best efforts simulations of the failure mode. So that's we can call observability. So monitoring system should address two questions: what is broken and why it is broken. But while observability cover a larger scope, monitoring is mainly used in terms of metrics monitoring. So in summary, observability is a property of the system, and monitoring is an activity we perform on the system. So if you look at this hierarchy of the observability, usually we have a data metrics or different kind of data from the past, present, and predictions. You want to do that to set up observability. So past data which you get it from the tracing and logging, present data which you get it from with the matrix, predictions from the stats and signal. So what you can do with the past data, you can diagnose. What you can do with the present data, you can dashboard. And based on that data from the past and present, you can predict the future using stats and signals. So observability gain understanding actively, monitoring consume information passively. Observability asks a question based on hypothesis. Monitoring asks a question based on dashboard. Observability built to tame dynamic environment like a container, Docker, and so on, with a changing complexity. Whereas monitoring, it was meant for the static environment. Preferred by developer of the system with variability and known permutations. Monitoring is used by developer of system with little change and known permutations. So this is the primary regions. Observability will focus on all three aspects of it: metrics, tracing, and logs. Monitoring will focus only on availability, performance, and capacity planning. So the question is, how can we perform observability? That's a That's a question. So if you want to perform and if you want to do observability, you have to have four data types, which is matrices, events, logs, and traces. So these are the four data types. If you gather from the systems, so then you can make the observability in place. So it has a three pillars which we discussed last time also here, metrics, traces, and logs. So if you want to set up observability, you have to gather metrics, you have to gather traces, and you have to gather logs. Now, what is the traces? So traces something like when you create a traffic on the website, so that the request you send to the website and you get a response, and that response which you get it has processed through multiple microservices, services, app server, web server, database server, networks, and so on. So that is how you get a response. So that is called, you can call it traces. Metrics, I think more reasonable matrices which you can think of immediately is like CPU, disk, network, throughput, error rate, request rate, and stuff like that. And top of that, logs, the logs which you can get it from the system or application. So yes, you have to gather all this information, traces, metrics, logs, to make the observability system in place. So yes, you have to gather logs, you have to gather metrics and traces plus dashboarding and alerting, so you can set up a observability. So if you see that these are some of the differentiating factor for monitoring versus observability. Whereas availability, so in terms of monitoring, will tell you is my system available, but observability will tell you how long is my system up. Performance monitoring will, if you set up a monitoring, it will tell you is my system healthy, whereas observability tell you what is my system doing. In terms of fault management, you monitoring will tell you when and where did it occur. Observability, why did it occur? Recovery will tell you in terms of monitoring, is my system backup. Observability let you ask what can I do to prevent the cause of recurring. So this is the differentiating factor of observability and monitoring. So yep, if you want to system observable, you have to gather this data which you have discussed. Also, I'll just skip too much of discussing. So metrics, more or less, we understand what are the metrics. So through work metrics, resource metrics, event metrics. So as part of the work metrics, you get throughput, success, error, performance. Resource metrics, we get a utilization, saturation, error availability, and events, we get a code changes, alerts, scaling events, etc. So yeah, these are the metrics we have. Research the resource metrics, we have disk memory and database now, event metrics, logs, traces,
It's too
and also
faster. Too faster.
yeah, yeah, I'm not
Very.
I'm trying, yeah, I'm trying to avoid the unnecessarily discussions right now, because observability is pretty huge topic. Primarily what I want, actually, I want to help you to understand the high level
Okay.
about the observability, and then move into the Dynatrace. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say here is we should not talk about monitoring nowadays. We should talk about observability. And when you talk about the observability, you need to gather metrics, you need to gather traces, you need to gather logs, and on top of that, alerts and dashboards. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, because it's a pretty huge discussion, 3 to 4 hours of discussions which we have, and you won't like it this way. Okay, so now the question is, yes, why it's so hard to perform the observability? So we see the evolution of the systems. So we are running the place earlier we were running in a physical servers, then virtual servers, cloud, and now we are running application in container. Earlier, in terms of software architecture also, we were having architecture like a monolithic. From there, we migrated to SOA, and then from now we have microservices. So yes, in terms of microservices, we have too many microservices, too many database, too many layers of user API, business data, and database. So basically, you are running application in a distributed environment in the production. The question is, how can we set up observability in a distributed environment? That's what it's mean for. Observability is mean for distributed environment. So if you look at this image, you can think of it as like a complications about the too many microservices calling too many things. So you have to monitor, you have to observe this. Okay. So now the question is, how do we set up observability? Okay. So at a high level, what I want to give you a message with this quick discussion, and that is, you are not going to set up a monitoring. You should try to set up a observability, because monitoring is dead, observability is alive. And as part of setting up observability, what you should do is you should you should monitor the matrix, you should monitor the traces, and then you should monitor the logs. And then if you have all this data, after that you can create alerts and dashboard. Are you understanding at a high level?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the objective. Now the question is, how do we set it up? So we have a three pillars which we want to set it up: availability, performance, reliability for application, network, and server. So availability will tell you which is up, and performance will tell you which is slow, and reliability will tell you which is broken. So which are the tools which will help you? So we have plenty of tools which can help you. So we have a Datadog, we have a Neuralink, we have a Splunk, we have Elastic, we have a App Dynamics, we have a Dynatrace, we have a Grafana, and you have chosen Dynatrace for the same thing. That means using a Dynatrace, I'm going to help you to see your system is available up or not, slow or not, and broken or not for the application network and server. Are you understanding?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
So you should do the same thing. So now, no more slides, just for giving a context. So using Dynatrace, how to do observability. So here, using Dynatrace. So the guidance is very simple. We should do infra monitoring, correct? Now, infra monitoring means gathering the matrices. Okay, then you should do APM monitoring. Okay, monitoring, and using monitor in this monitoring, you get what? Traces, correct?
Yeah.
After that, you should do log monitoring. Log monitoring will tell you what? You will get a logs. You can also got synthetic monitoring. Okay, monitoring, and here also you get lots of matrices. Okay, and here you can also do the RAM monitoring. This is the 5 monitoring, which I'm going to show you. And here also you get some real user experiences and stuff like that. So yeah, these are the things we need to gather from the system. And after the gathering this system, what we'll do, we'll set up alerts and dashboard. Are you understanding now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are going to start with it. Now the question is the architecture of Dynatrace. Okay, so I'm not getting into too much of discussion here, but I'll put it in this way. We have an offering which is called enterprise offering. Okay, and then we have offering which is called uh, cloud offering. Okay, so enterprise, it can be installed in the Dynatrace. You can install in the private data center, means behind the firewall. Okay, hosted, you can host that, and here you can find the software as a service. This is the things. So Dynatrace, how can you install, setup, and stuff like that? So for that, we are going to use software as a service, cloud-based software. So, and now here you get a trial period for I think 15 days. I need to check that. So trial period for that, and you can check that, and anyone can get started. Okay, so the same thing I'm doing right now. Let me check if I have a last Dynatrace account which is active or not, and based on that we'll see that. So I'm going to log in. Dynatrace, and I just logged in here. What is happening? Okay, so let me create one account here. That account is not working for some reason. So free trial account, and start your account using this app ID, app to DevOpsSchool.com, and password. Now name Kumar, DevOpsSchool India, continue. Now here you have to select which region that you want the data to be stored, because the SaaS-based software, right? Software as a service. So data center has to be opted. So I'll just go for one, US West Oregon, and submit. So this is my account, which I'm having right now. I'll just note it down. You can create also one account for learning purpose.
Yeah.
Sorry. DevOpsSchool.com. This is the soft. Okay, email. I have to log in one more time.
At the end, you're going to share me these notes, or do I need to note it down?
No, I'll share the recordings and notes all.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So this is your website, which you need to work with it, right? So few dashboards are already there. Cancel this. This is the dashboard. You got it by default.
Yeah.
And here, if you look at this, infrastructure means this one.
Metrics.
Yeah. Infra monitoring matrices, you get it.
Yeah.
And cloud automations means AWS, you get an infrastructure matrix only. Application and microservices, which is here, APM. Okay. And security, digital experience means synthetic. Okay. And log monitoring, here there is no UI as such, but it's inside this one only. So I'll show you that one. Okay. So what to do? So I got the accounts here in a SaaS-based software. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather the matrix, infra matrix, APM matrix, log matrix, synthetic matrix, RAM matrix. All this I'm going to gather. So how do I do that? So first thing, there is a one architecture you need to understand, and that is, see here, this is a site, Dynatrace, okay? Dynatrace. Now here, this is my machine, and this is I have Windows machine, Linux machine, all these different kind of machines. So here, from here to here, the matrix should be stored, right? Then only this is me, I can see that, right? Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that matrix, how can we send it? So what Dynatrace, they have done it, they created one agent actually. Okay, so this is called agent, one agent they call it. One agent means this agent for everything. One agent here, one agent here, one agent here. Okay, so everywhere we have to install one agent. So whichever the data you want, all this data except this one, not this one. Okay, this is a different way. So for all this data you have to have one agent for it. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
So what to do now? Nothing. I have to install one agent actually. So here, Dynatrace receive all the information from one agent. So one agent you have to install it. So for that, what I'm trying to do now is I'm creating one machine for you, and that I'll call it Dynatrace. Okay, and done. So this is the machine I have got it. Linux machine CentOS. Okay. So let it use this.
This
So
is
now,
where you are installing the one agent.
yes, this is my machine. This can be a machine which you want to monitor. I want to monitor this. I want to monitor
Yeah.
this. I want to monitor
Yeah.
this. So you have to install one agent.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So I have got one machine. This is the
Mm-hmm.
machine. I'm starting it. It's a fresh machine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah. I'm able to hear.
Okay. So one of the VM. You can have the VMs on the cloud also. That's not a problem.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Root Rajesh 123 IPA. My IP address is 9 for this machine. Okay. So I'm going to log into this machine. SSH root 192.168.1.9. Yes. And now Rajesh 123. Okay. So now this is the machine is ready for the demo. So what to do? Nothing. You
This
have
is
to install.
your Windows machine, or this is your Windows machine, right?
No, this is my Linux machine which I'm accessing. VM. One VM.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm
This is
getting
the
it.
VM. It can
Okay,
be on cloud also.
okay.
Okay.
Now you are
So
installing here, if I'm
yes.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can install in the Linux, Windows, any operating
Mm-hmm.
system.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the Linux machine, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to install one agent. So how do I install? So do you see here one button on top?
Yeah, yeah.
Deploy Dynatrace. So I'll click here and little bit of things I will read this. Deploy
Mm-hmm.
Dynatrace, monitor all of your real users and technology by installing one agent. One
Mm-hmm.
agent install monitors real and all technology, all services, application that run in environment. Just install one agent, no configuration required. Getting
Okay.
opens. So
Yeah.
scroll down and here start installation. Now here installation for Windows is there, Linux is there, AIX is there, Solaris, Jet, Kubernetes, OpenShift, Cloud Foundries, and all these things there. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to install at the mass level, you have Ansible and Puppet also. So
Mm-hmm.
nothing. I have a Linux, click Linux, and here pass token is required. This token only will be sending the data from one agent to SaaS based Dynatrace. So for that, what I need to do? I can go and create a token. I can use the existing token, but right now I'm lazy creating tokens. And
Okay.
this created a token. Now, what
Mm-hmm.
is the type of your installer? Whether it's a Linux ARM? No. Powered PC? No. All this thing? No. x86-64? Yes. Select this. Now copy this code, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
study a little bit of it before running. This is the code. And here you have a token, and this is the
Mm-hmm.
installer, web installer, and everything will be done automatically. So this is the shell script which you're going to run it. So copy this and paste it, enter. Oops.
On your
Command not
system.
found. On my Linux box.
Okay.
So here, when I run this command, it says wget is not found. No problem. Yum install wget hyphen y. Correct now? I installed the wget in Linux. Done. And now after that, we run that command. Now this command will download the executable of one agent, install it, configure it, and start the process. Everything will be done by that web command which I copied.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if you want the step-by-step guide, what you should do, Dynatrace, right? Dynatrace, one agent, DevOpsSchool. One agent, DevOpsSchool. Here, where is it? Let me go to this blog. Here, Dynatrace. So here, right now this I'm doing, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So you will have this tutorial. You can follow a little bit later in the demo I'm showing you. So here you see same thing which I have shown you. You can follow.
Yeah.
So after this, you can check that.
Okay.
So it's almost done in 95% or something.
Yes.
Done. So now what to do? So if you want to verify the installers and all, you can do that. Right now, not needed. If you want to customize anything as such, you can, like adding a tags or network zones. You can do that. Right now, not required. And run this command with the root access. Okay, so copy and put it up. Okay, so installing this. You see the log files here, you can find it.
Yeah.
And here you see there one user who has got created. DT user is Dynatrace user, which will be running that agent. Done. Okay, so here you see that Dynatrace agent successfully connected to Dynatrace cluster web. You all are set and it's a fully operational. So this message you should wait for it. After that, if you want, restart the process that you want to monitor and check the deployment status. The same thing which you have here. Okay, so all this thing is important. So the Dynatrace here, and these are the directory where you have install logs, install locations where the Dynatrace got installed. Okay, the service got added here. If you want to see which some of the files here, log locations are here. So it will help you to troubleshoot environment and done. So now can I click on deployments source status? Now see, this is the name of the server. My name of the server is localhost.
Hello everyone, if you would like to access the remaining videos of this playlist of 50 plus more tools which are coming under DevOps, DevSecOps, SRE, DataOps, GitOps, etc. Kindly become our channel members by clicking on the joining button. You would have access to 100s of playlists and 1000s of videos lifetime access with this membership. Enjoy.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.